anchoring Okonji Christopher Television on YouTube. I'm a human rights activist in the area of the education and health of the Child Foundation, which automatically makes me, I run an NGO for children called Save the Education and Health of the Child Foundation. I'm also an advocate, advocating for a better Nigeria. My country might not be in good shape right now, but I'm one of those people that are adding my voice to make sure that Nigeria attains back his place, his rightful place in what God is doing on the earth. Nigeria is the focal point in what God is doing. I like to remind you again. And also, I have a mind for humanity. So each time you see me talk on this channel, you always hear me talk about issues that concerns humanity. It's my heartbeat. My mindset, or what I believe, is that humanity was created as a free moral agent. That was the mindset of God. We are free to express ourselves. But when you see that one nation dominating the other, and then something has gone wrong, and that is not the mindset of God. But because when God created man initially from the inception, it's in Genesis, he said, "Go ye into the world and multiply and replenish the earth, subdue the earth, have dominion." That was the initial plan of God, and that's supposed to be our mindset. But there was a fall. That was what caused the detour of what you are seeing manifesting itself today amongst us. When I'm here, I'm going to talk on a very topical issue. I call it topical because I always talk on issues that that touches humanity. So today I title my message. I call it "Battle from the Womb." Funny topic, right? Battle from the womb. This message came as a conception of what I have been seeing happening around me. When I mean around us in the world, there's war going around, and I know there's so many questions in the minds of people. You might be asking, even as I'm talking right now, you might ask, why do nations of the earth go on war? Why must people go on war? Why is war going on all over the world? Like what we're experiencing right now. The war between Israel and Iran. I like to bear my mind on that. People say, well, talk is cheap, but I see that talk is not cheap, because God created the earth, the heavens. God created the earth with a spoken word. In that same Genesis, the book of Genesis, chapter 1, God created the heavens and the earth, and God occupied the heavens. But when God looked down from heaven, which is light, there's light in heaven, God looked down on the earth and he saw there was darkness. And you know that darkness and light cannot mix together. God is light. And the Bible said there was so much darkness on the earth, and God did not like what he saw. You didn't know what? God took his eyes off, and what? He didn't take his eyes off. He spoke what he wanted to see. And what is it that God wanted to see? God wanted to see that, and he spoke, "Let there be light." And you know what? What God wanted to see emerged immediately. That's to say that the power of creation is in our tongue. So where am I going to right now? The battles, why the nations go on war on the earth. I'm going to give you a rundown. I'm going to do a study on it for those of us that don't know. As I'm talking right now, I might say some things that you don't know. You are not a history student, and I take you to the Bible to let you know the genesis of why nations actually go on war, why we see so much war going on the earth. So this actually was the genesis of it. If you look at your Bible very well, it was said that Isaac married Rebekah, and Rebekah conceived. This is the genesis of the battle that took place in the womb. Why you see today nations are warring against nations on the surface of the earth. It starts from the womb. It was said that Rebekah took in, and she took in with twins. They said she had two nations in her womb. Two nations in her womb. And right in the womb, we're told that they were fighting. These two boys, they were boys, and they were fighting in the womb. So which means the battle started from the womb. And the name of one of them is called Jacob, and the other one is what is called Esau. You understand what I mean? So the battle has started from the womb. And when they were about to be given birth to, and there was a struggle for who comes out first. But you know that nature must actually take its course. The first one must come before the second one. And Esau emerged and became, the first one that came out. Well, if we look at it very well, even the time that Esau came, there was a time of age that Esau was to be blessed, because he's the senior one. Isaac is old and wanted to bless his son, but the plan of God was that Jacob was to be, I mean, the firstborn. I mean, spiritually speaking. Naturally speaking, Esau was the first, but spiritually speaking, Jacob was the first. So Jacob was blessed. He took the place of, of Esau. He took the birthright. They say it stole the birthright of Esau. And if you notice very well, from that time, there have always been a conflict between Esau and Jacob. You know, there was always been a conflict. Esau, he would always look for Jacob to kill him because he stole his birthright. You understand? So that was the genesis of the battle that has gone on. All from the womb. You know, so right now, even there was a time Jacob grew up, and his name was Jacob. His name was changed from Jacob to Israel, because why? He had a new encounter with God. When you have a new encounter with God, your name changes. Why now? Why did he cut? Your name changes when you have a new encounter with God. Your name changes. You know, so that was what actually happened at that time when he had an encounter with God. God called him a father of nations. His name now became Israel. That is the Israel that you are seeing today, that you are, physically and spiritually seeing today. So what am I trying to say here is that Jacob and Esau has been, even till the time of now, Esau and Jacob parted ways. But you see that hatred and that unforgiveness in the heart of Esau, that his birthright was stolen by Jacob, has always been there. So if you look at it today, Israel is Israel, which Jacob represented, and Esau and Iran are the descendants of Esau. So you see, till today, it's a spiritual thing. That spiritual battle has been there. That hatred has been there. That animosity has been there, that you stole that which is mine. That is why till today you see these two nations never agree. And you know one thing, Israel is God's own country. You know, you can also see it also in the life of Abraham. And when Abraham was old of age, he talked to God. He said, God, I'm of age now, right now. I don't have anyone that will inherit my property when I leave the shores of the earth. And God promised him, I will give you a son called Isaac. You know, so when Jacob looked at himself physically, you know, I'm of age, I'm old. I don't think this will ever happen. Even when God gave that prophecy, what's her name again? Sarah even laughed in her mind that how can she conceive at that age? But we knew that this actually happened. It took place, and they conceived and they gave birth to Isaac. But Abraham slept with a bondwoman and gave birth to Ishmael. Ishmael are descendants of the Muslims. The people of the Middle East that you see today. You know, fill the whole earth. So there's always this disparity that has always been going on. So if you ask it very well, you see that wars amongst nations has been from the foundation of the earth. It started from the womb. So it's a spiritual thing that has been there in the womb, you know. So we need to understand what it is and know how to handle it. Wars are not good. Wars does not bring, the best in us. Wars does not extend humanity. Wars cause ravages in the earth. Wars cause poverty in the world. Wars causes setback in the world. So we are calling on Iran and Israel to hold their peace, so that there will not be another third world war again. We're not looking forward for that for now.